Could the OnePlus 6T be the final nail in the coffin for the Google Pixel phones? Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. So honest, it hurts. Yeah. Anyway, OnePlus 6T just announced today, and prices still good. There's a lot of stuff to like about the new OnePlus 6T. It starts at 128 gigabytes of storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM for only $549. 128 gigabytes with 8 gigs of RAM is $579, and 256 gigs with 8 gigabytes of RAM is $629. Now, to me, this should be concerning for a lot of folks who sell smartphones as part of their product line, especially folks like Google, for one, especially, and maybe even Apple with the XR, because this phone has a lot of stuff going on for it that could be hard for those phones to overcome because of their price. But we'll get to that in a little bit. What is the OnePlus 6T? As I said, it starts at 128 gigabytes and goes up from there. It's a 6.4-inch OLED screen. I believe it's still 1080p, but hey, that's okay. 37 milliamp hour battery in there that OnePlus claims will give you 20% more battery life than the OnePlus 6. It's got this cute little teardrop notch instead of the big honking tooth. And overall, a very, very solid phone. There are some negatives, but some of these negatives don't necessarily disqualify it from being a competitor to the aforementioned phones. There's no headphone jack. They took the headphone jack away. I know, dead horse, I'm beating it. But that's how it is. I think the headphone jack is still a viable port. No water resistance, whereas the other phones have IP68 and 67 ratings. To me, water resistance is a nice feature to have, but I don't typically get my phone wet, and I try not to do that. So water resistance isn't a big deal breaker for me. No wireless charging in these phones. Not a deal breaker for me as well, but for some people, they really like the wireless charging. I don't really care. And OnePlus does have super fast charging as long as you use the power brick that they supply in the box. They also supply a headphone jack dongle, USB-C to 3.5 millimeter if you want to use your wired headphones. So there's that. The reason I wanted to make this video after seeing what the OnePlus 6T is really about is I feel like this phone has the chance to be a major game changer in the US phone market. OnePlus has always made really good phones, but they have not, to this point, been available on any US carrier. So it was all mail order to get the phone, and not too many people are going to go sight unseen and order a phone. So the phone junkies will. But the average person still goes out and buys their phone, I think, in their carrier store. So now the OnePlus 6T is going to be available on the T-Mobile network. You can finance it through the T-Mobile network, all that kind of stuff. And here's the impact that has. To get a decently spec'd phone prior to this, you had to go with a Samsung, you had to go with an Apple. If you were on Verizon, you could go with the Pixel. You know, the phone market has really shrunk to a few players in the flagship area. And now OnePlus could be a huge disruptor with a phone that's 90% of the phones that those companies offer for hundreds of dollars less. Now, T-Mobile's not the most popular, the most used network in the world, but it is one of the major US carriers. And for the first time ever, the OnePlus 6T can be used on the Verizon network. That's the thing that's kept me from using OnePlus long term. My family's on a Verizon network, and there was just no way to use the OnePlus phones. But now, that basically means you can use the OnePlus phones on every US carrier. So the floodgates just might be opening. One of the reasons I think that this thing has a chance to really knock out the Pixel is the Oxygen OS skin that they put on top of stock Android is very, very light, very, very usable and pleasing to the eye. And some people actually seem to like it better than the stock Android that the Pixel has. I like the Pixel stock Android. I can still see how the Oxygen OS skin from OnePlus could really give the Pixel a run for its money. Not only should Google and the folks who make the Pixel be worried about OnePlus taking a huge chunk of their market, I think that there's a possibility for people who are on the fence about going with another Android phone or switching over to the iPhone. The OnePlus could take away some of the market that is there for the iPhone XR. The iPhone XR is the budget phone. I know. Don't say it. That Apple is offering this year. And the OnePlus 6T is a very compelling alternative to that $750 phone. If you can save $200 by going with the OnePlus, I think that might be compelling to a lot of people. You know, the Pixel has not come out strong. You know, there was a lot of negativity even before the launch with all the leaks about the Pixel. I think the time is right for a major disruptive player like the OnePlus 6T in the US market, especially since it's going to be more widely available than any of the OnePlus phones have been to this point. Tell me what you think. Do you think the OnePlus 6T has the opportunity to siphon off even more of the market share the Pixel has? I mean, the Pixel has never sold well, and now there's a near stock Android alternative available in the US for hundreds of dollars less. The OnePlus 6T starts at $549 and gives you 128 gigabytes of storage. Both Pixels start at 64 gigabytes, and one starts at $800 and one starts at $900. And you got to pay more to get up to that 128 threshold. So I really think that there's a moment here. There's a moment. We may be in the midst of a moment where OnePlus could come in and really do some damage to the US smartphone market, both on the Android side and possibly on the iPhone side. You let me know what you think down in the comments. This could be a very interesting last little bit of 2018 going into 2019. Talk to me down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the OnePlus 6T. Let me know what you think about all these questions that I'm offering you right now, and we will talk. Anyway, if this was your first time here, thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. If you want to come back again, then like, subscribe, bell notified, all those things. You know what to do. You know what to do. And if you've been here before, then you know that I love you, because that's just the way I am. If you're interested in the stuff that I use to make these videos, if you're interested in the Painfully Honest Tech t-shirt that I have on offer, then you can check out those links down in the description. Otherwise, again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest, it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.